This is a game table that I'm building. I'm calling it a game table because we're going to put checkers and chess pieces in here, and I've got a checkerboard, and maybe eventually I'll make one, but the checkerboard will sit on top, and it will live between two low chairs in my living room, and it also matches the cherry entrance table that I made a little bit more than a year ago. So I've got a little bit of a problem here. I actually made two screw-ups. I'll tell you about the first one. Because this is continuous grain, so the drawer front is cut out of the same material as the apron, you can't flip the drawer. So when I was cutting the slot for the drawer bottom, I screwed up and I put a little, I started to make the cut, then I backed off, realized my mistake. Every project has a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. And so what I did was I just filled it with a piece of cherry. Nobody would ever see that. Nobody in my family would ever see that. Maybe a client could possibly see it, but this is for me, so it's not a problem. And in fact, I think it gives it a little character. 20 years, 30 years from now, when one of my kids has this, they can kind of laugh at the screw up that I made. But anyway, the other thing that's a little bit more difficult is the drawer stop is going to function by attaching a piece of wood to the back of the face frame, just like this. Now, in order for that to work, the drawer material has to be the exact same thickness as the apron material, and it is, but somehow it's not quite perfect. It's sort of sitting back a little bit. And maybe the drawer is not 100% square. I'm not exactly sure what happened. So the way I'm fixing that is, I've got my drawer stop here, and I cut it at 1 1/4 by 3/8, and then I lowered the blade to 1 inch, moved the fence in maybe a 1/64, and that creates a little lip. You probably can't notice it, but if I take my pencil, you see how it just follows that line. Now that will sit right there. That'll force the drawer out a little bit. It also makes it nice because when I go to attach it, I don't have to measure or mark. I'll just put it on that lip, hit it with a few pin nails, and clamp it in place, and that will be the drawer stop. Now that might make the drawer front a little bit proud, but that's okay, because then I'll come along, and if it's just a tiny bit proud, I'll stand the front of the drawer and the apron at the same time. Okay, well, a little extra work, but not really that big of a deal. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to point out that everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes in almost every project, and I don't include them in the videos because it just takes too long to explain them. But I wanted to kind of really get the point across that making mistakes is all part of woodworking, and a big part of woodworking is the problem solving when you make a mistake. So generally there's always going to be a way to fix it. This could have been somewhat catastrophic because the cabinet was already built, and the whole thing is built around the drawer front. The fact that this has continuous wood grain, if I had done something on the front, if I had flipped it and started to cut the groove on the front of the drawer, that would have been a real problem. So I usually write some notes like the drawer front, things like that. The fact that it's on the inside and it's just a little kind of wedge, I just filled it with a wedge, it's not going to be a problem. And like I said, I think it kind of adds character to the piece. So this is the matching game table for the entrance table. If you're looking for a project, I'll have a link to the entrance table down in the description below. There is a full 40-minute tutorial on that project. And when this project is done next week, I'll have plans for this up as well. So this should be going up next Sunday. And again, this is solid cherry, and you'll notice the difference between a piece that's being made. It has sort of this kind of light pink color to a piece that's been made and has had some time to darken with age. Cherry gets darker with age. Give it a few months and it's going to get a really nice, deep, warm, kind of red-brown color. So that's it for now. I'll see you next week.